Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever wanted to send an email from your Node.js app, you probably started by Googling how to send email with Node.js and found the usual answer. Install NodeMailer, set up SMTP, done. But here's the thing. Sending an email isn't that hard. The hard part is making sure that email actually gets delivered, doesn't land in spam, and your code keeps working when you scale. So in this video, we're going to go beyond the basics. There are two main ways to send email with Node.js, using SMTP and using an email API. In this video, I will show you how to send emails with SMTP, break down the pros, cons, and real-world considerations. You can find this information in a detailed article with all the code examples and explanations. Just follow the link in the description to read it on our blog. Let's get started. First of all, what is SMTP? SMTP, or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is what email is based on. When you use SMTP in Node.js, your app connects to an SMTP server, hands over the message data, who it's from, who it's to, the subject, the body, and the server takes care of the rest. For using SMTP with Node.js, the most common library is NodeMailer. It's simple, reliable, and works with any SMTP server, including Gmail and Outlook, or services like UniOne. The main pros of SMTP are the following. First, it's mature and well supported. Second, very easy to set up, and it's great for simple use cases. But here's where it can fall short. Slow when sending bulk emails. No built-in tracking or analytics, rate limits can slow you down or cause silent failures. Alright, before we dive into sending emails with Node.js, let's make sure your setup is complete. These are the basics you'll need to check off. First, you need a sender address or a custom domain name. While you may use Google's SMTP service to send emails from your Gmail address, most providers limit emailing from public mailboxes. If you opt for sending emails from your own domain, you'll need domain authentication, specifically DKIM, SPF, and DMARC. These are DNS records that help prevent your emails from being marked as spam. Most ESPs, like UniOne, will walk you through the steps to set these up on your domain. You'll also need a working Node.js project. If you haven't set one up yet, just run this code in your project folder to get started. Then make sure you've got a mail service provider account. That can be an SMTP server, like the one UniOne offers. For public mailbox providers, you'll need the SMTP server hostname and port. You'll also need your credentials. That means your SMTP username and password for authentication. Another important one, a stable internet connection. Without it, your emails might fail to send or get stuck. And don't forget your dependencies. For SMTP, install NodeMailer. Finally, make sure you're comfortable with asynchronous code. Email sending is async by nature, so you'll need to use async await or then to handle responses and errors properly. Once you've got all that in place, you're ready to start coding. Now let's set up email sending in Node.js via SMTP using NodeMailer, the go-to library for transactional and notification emails. First, install NodeMailer, then import it in your code. Now create a transporter. This code shows how NodeMailer connects to the SMTP server. Use secure true only with port 465. For 587, use false. That enables start TLS. If you're using UniOne as your SMTP service, here's how to connect. Log in to UniOne. Find your user ID in the top left of the dashboard. Go to Account to Security. Generate or copy your API key. Save these for later. You'll need both the user ID and API key for authentication. Now plug this code into your NodeMailer setup. Before sending an email, verify your connection like this. That's it. Now you're ready to send emails via SMTP with Node.js and UniOne. Okay, we are done with preliminaries. Now let's look at three kinds of emails: plain text, HTML, and email with attachments, and learn how to handle errors properly. We'll start with sending a plain text email. This is ideal for alerts or logs. Here's the basic setup. In this code, from is your verified sender address, to is the recipient's email, subject is a subject line, text is a message body plain. Next up, sending an HTML email. For rich formatting, like confirmations or newsletters, replace text with HTML. Here is the code for it. You can use inline styles or style blocks. NodeMailer also supports multi-part emails with both text and HTML for better compatibility. To include PDFs, images, or CSVs, use the attachments property, or use base64 encoded content like this. Watch out for size limits. Most servers cap the total email size at about 10 megabytes. Templates let you reuse layouts and insert dynamic values like name or order ID. They're essential for transactional emails like receipts or password resets. Among common Node.js template options are handlebars or EJS for SMTP-based sending. These JavaScript template engines let you implement dynamic values and logic in your HTML. While working with templates, follow these email design tips. Use inline CSS, no style tags, or external CSS. Avoid JavaScript entirely. Use table-based layout for compatibility. Test responsive design with media queries limited support in clients. Sending email to multiple recipients and personalization. Sending emails to multiple recipients is a common objective and should be done right. When sending emails, you can include to the main recipients, CC, recipients who get a visible copy, BCC, recipients who get a blind copy. Each of these fields can contain several email addresses. Here's how this looks using NodeMailer, and a few quick tips for working with multiple recipients. Number 1. Double-check that all email addresses are valid. 2. Use BCC to protect user privacy. 3. Don't accidentally mix up to, CC, and BCC, especially in automated flows. Personalizing messages. Personalization helps make your messages more relevant. You can personalize by name, order ID, or anything else specific to the recipient. You can do it with NodeMailer, manually replacing strings. Here is how you generate one email per recipient with custom content. Including many addresses in to, CC, or BCC isn't always a good idea, especially with SMTP. Most SMTP servers limit the number of messages you can send per minute. If you hit the limit, your messages might be delayed or blocked. To avoid problems, send emails in batches, a few at a time, with short intervals between each batch. Here's what it looks like. This method works well for small-scale bulk emails. For higher volume, consider using a message queue like RabbitMQ, Bull, or Amazon SQS to manage delivery in the background. Throttling and queue management. When sending lots of emails, you need to control the speed. This is called throttling. It helps you avoid hitting server limits or getting flagged as spam. Most SMTP and email APIs limit the number of messages you send per minute. If you go over, you might get errors like 429 too many requests. Best practices of a queue management, they include the following. First one, add short delays between batches, see example above. Next, retry on temporary errors. And use a job queue like Bull to manage rate limits and retries. Now, here is a code example with Bull. Each job sends one email. Bull takes care of spacing, retries, and logging. Great for high-volume email sending with Node.js. And finally, let's cover handling errors and failures. SMTP errors can be caused by bad credentials, wrong host or port settings, network issues, and other issues. In these cases, NodeMailer provides an error callback. Or you may go with async await. Dealing with it, log full error details in development, but avoid exposing sensitive info in production. That covers the most important things you need to know about sending emails with Node.js using an SMTP. If you're curious about the API method, check out our other video where we walk through that approach too. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tutorials. See you on UniOne YouTube channel.